Just real quickly, my name is Terry Kemple. I've been, as Ernie said, an activist for, let me back up and say, so I talked to Pastor Nell before and I asked him, what time, do you need me to stop? And he said, noon or so that we can meet the Baptists to the restaurant. I'm just kidding, But I'll make this as short as I can, but thank you all for being here. And so what happened is, I've been an activist, Christian activist, for about 25 years. I had the blessing of being the executive director of Christian Coalition of Florida for a term back in about 2000, 2001, 2002, and then executive director of Florida Right to Life for just time after that, 2002 to 2004 roughly. And then God led my wife and I to start a ministry in Hillsborough County. So that's where I live. I live in Hillsborough County, and we did that about 15 years ago. And the purpose of that ministry is to promote Judeo-Christian values by educating and uniting the church. Because the church is the only army, if united, that's big enough to really push back against the darkness that's overcoming our culture. And that darkness is affecting most of all our children. Right? We're old enough. Actually, I don't think there's hardly anybody in here, if anybody, who's as old as I am. But we're old enough to know. Okay. I saw that finger, sister. I graduated high school in 1964, and when I graduated high school, the big crime was smoking a cigarette in the boys' room. Hey, it's a different world today. Those of you, I saw the children that walked out, I saw, and I also see some younger ones here right now. They face a whole different environment. So I was a hippie. I did a lot of bad things. God took hold of my life in 1986. I became a born-again Christian, and my life changed because I filled a hole in my heart with the Holy Spirit, with Jesus Christ, that I had been trying to fill with all those things the world offers. Well, our kids are faced with things far beyond anything that I've ever faced. We'll see how this progresses, but some of the things that we're facing, I'll just give you an idea. Here in Pinellas County, the biggest thing, or the thing most in the forefront right now, is comprehensive sex education in your schools. Now, if you don't know what that is, it probably sounds like it's okay. Comprehensive sex ed, well, we want our kids to know what's going on. Well, the reality is that the initiator of the comprehensive sex ed curriculum, the comprehensive sex ed concept, is Planned Parenthood. And I'm going to tell you that implicitly or explicitly, comprehensive sex ed says to your kids, we expect that you're going to be sexually active. Just be safe and use a condom. Implicitly or explicitly, your kids who are in public schools in Pinellas County are receiving that message. What does that do? Well, that ensures that Planned Parenthood is going to have a never-ending stream of pregnant young girls who are coming in and paying them for abortions. Folks, this is from the pit of hell. Ernie talked about Pasco County and the whole gender ideology and encouraging kids to believe that they can be what they're not. Folks, this is pervasive. It's not just here in Pinellas County or in Pasco County or in Hillsborough County. This is across America. So I've been fighting this battle for 25 years, and we've had some successes. We've also had some losses. Fortunately, God has given me one. People say, don't ask God for patience. I didn't even have to ask Him. He just gave it to me. So I just want to keep fighting the battle. And I'll keep fighting the battle until God either takes me home or says, okay, Terry, you've done your part. You can rest now. But for now, I'm not resting. But what happened is, I'm fighting a battle in Hillsborough County. God opens the door in Pasco County. God opens the door in Pinellas County. And all of a sudden, there's 3 counties. And it's more than one person can do. But I was doing it. And I'm not, there's not, woe is me there. It's just like, you got to do what you got to do, right? If God calls you, you're going to do it. Well, God introduced me to Ernie. Ernie is the man of the big vision. And we were talking, and he said, at first he said, no, I don't want to be involved. And then he said, well, Terry, I will be involved on one basis. if we can do this big, if we can go after all 67 counties in Florida. So Pastor Annell has said he would like to be in leadership of a team here in Pinellas County. We've got some other folks from our prior effort that want to be involved. And I hope that we have some people here in this congregation who want to be involved, because the people who are making the decisions that affect our futures are people who are basically elected. Some of them are bureaucrats that are appointed by the elected officials, but the elected officials are the ones who really make the decisions. If we have people in those offices who don't believe like we believe, who aren't motivated by the Spirit of God, who don't believe that the Bible is the truth, we're going to have people making the laws that we have to live by, the rules and policies that our children are educated under, who don't believe like we believe. So what do you think is going to happen? What is exactly happening right now, and I'm going to give you a real quick example. You had a fine Christian woman, Stephanie Myers, run for school board, and I'm pretty sure she lost her election. What would have happened if every church in Pinellas County that believes the Bible is the Word of God had said, we want a Christian, or not in Pinellas County because I think it was a single member district, but nonetheless within that district, we want to have someone who believes that God is who He says He is in that seat. There would have been no question about who won. There would have been no question, folks. We need to mobilize the church, and not just for political, not just for elections, but for issues. So I've got a list. I can go through a list of organizations here that are aligned or affiliated with Planned Parenthood that have been working here in Pinellas County for years. That's why they've made the inroads that they made. So we've got a big job, but we've also got a big God. But it takes people. It takes people. So I'm going to go quickly through this. I'm going to ask you to become a member of Protect Our Children Project. And I'm going to tell you what that means. First, our mission statement is to protect our children's innocence, privacy rights, and quality of education by supporting the family and encouraging community involvement. And our website is POCP.org. So, did I hit the wrong one? How do I go ahead? The forward arrow? Pardon? Oh, I hit the wrong one. Okay, so we're going to ask you to be members. And the membership, I'm going to go through a list of things that we'll do if you will join in with the effort. So whoever is on the team with Annell is going to have this kind of support from Protect Our Children Project. So the team will consist of a marketing, an outreach, a relationship building, an activism and events, and a research component. The people who are part of the team will be doing those things. And if there's something else that needs to be done and you don't feel motivated by any of those, hey, it's all right. Do something else that's going to help the effort to move forward. And from an action standpoint, we're going to help you to organize email campaigns, conduct petition drives, planning mass turnouts at school board meetings and other meetings, creating awareness for your work through demonstrations and information blitzes, generating media attention for your chapter. So those are all things through the ministry that God has allowed me through for the last 25 years. We've got methods for doing those things. In addition to those things, as a member, you're going to be able to activate here in Pinellas County, and as we build teams in other counties, if there's something going on in Pinellas County that needs help, you'll have a team coming from Hillsborough County to help you, and a team coming from Sarasota County to help you. So we want to build those teams. You'll get a membership certificate, and it's hard to see on the picture, but this is really a beautiful certificate. It's suitable for framing. I mean, really, I've got mine on my wall, so I'm a member, and the reason for that is so that you can proudly say, I really believe in the mission of Protect Our Children Project. You get a laminated personal membership ID with your lifetime membership number. Ernie says, so when you go to the school board and you're going to talk to them, you hold up your ID card and say, I'm a member of POCP, and we want you to listen to us. And you also get one of these nice lapel pins. I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of compliments on this, so we really want you to be involved. You did receive the application, so you have it in your hand. I'm not going to go through it all, but I am going to say this to you. It gives you our mission, our vision, our core values. It also gives you the opportunity to give us your information. I want to say this to you. Please, if you are at all interested or curious about what we're doing and how you could be involved, give us your contact information, because I know I've been doing this for a long time. Pastor Noel will tell you the same thing. If you walk out the door with this form with the best of intentions of getting it back to me, I'll never see it again. We need to know, if you want to be involved, that you want to be involved. So please give us your contact information, your name and contact information. And then from a membership standpoint, we would like to have you be a member paying, who's paying dues on a regular monthly basis. And there are levels: $10 a month, $25 a month, $50 a month, whatever fits comfortably for you. Now, and I always say this, especially when I'm in a new church, I don't want you to take anything away from your church or your pastor. No. All right? So if you don't have $10 a month, that in addition to what you're already committing to your church, we don't want your money. We want you. Yes. You can be a friend of POCP. There's no cost. You still get all of the information and the ability to enter into the activities and participate. But if you are in a position to help us financially, folks, your speaker this morning, sorry, I don't remember what your name was. Nathan? Yeah. Nathan taught it takes money to do ministry. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So it takes money to do ministry. God provides it in the ways that He does. And He is providing money for our ministry just as He's providing money for your ministry. You may be one of the vehicles that God has chosen to say, yes, please help this Protect Our Children Project ministry. So on the back, you can see the benefits, the specific benefits that come with each of the membership levels. You can sign up back here. You can say what level you want to be. If you would like to give today, you could write a check to POCP. We have one of those little square things, and you could use your credit card and give us a gift today. But please, fill out the form. Help us, because we need you. Be part of the POCP community. That's really what we're trying to do. Build a community in the state of Florida that says, this far and no farther. We are taking back our children. Folks, I don't... Only God really knows what's happening. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I don't know everything that's happening, but I know that there's a lot of bad stuff happening. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not to say that there's not some good stuff, and I think that's great. You got a children's ministry going on right now, and that's a great thing. Your children are here a couple hours a week. They're in the schools, depending on what grade they're in and what school they're in, 30, 40 hours a week. There's a lot of influence. And this goes beyond the schools. There's the other influences in the culture that are trying to impact our kids. You have Drag Queen Story Hour, right? How many of you just said, Folks, let's stop saying, like Ernie said. In 6 months, we don't want you to look at God and say, mea culpa, right? You have the chance today to become a part of the tidal wave that we'll build through Protect Our Children Project to protect our children. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Pastor.